Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Season 6 of Battle of the Bangers. I am your host. My name is Tyler, and, of course, I am joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Kyle.
Hello.
Cool. So, if you're just joining us this season on Battle of the Bangers, we are pitting the top 8 most streamed Polyphia songs against each other in this big ol' heckin' bracket that I'm throwing up on screen right now. It should be noted that we are doing this before the release of the new album, so take everything that we're going to say with that knowledge in the back of your mind. Last week, GOAT beat Champagne in a kind of not close match, but it felt close in our hearts. Today is a significantly tougher matchup. We got OD, the number 4 seed, versus Nasty, the number 5 seed. And why the fuck is it that every single season, the 4 and 5 seeds are so goddamn close to each other in quality? It's always just, who knows how this is going to end. This is going to be fucking close and tight. I don't even want to have to vote on this. I'm hoping that you two just come to a unanimous decision so that my hands are clean of blood. With that being said, I'm going to pass it off to Brennan. Brennan, I would like you to dive into OD first. Let's just start at the
OD. So OD is one of those songs that finds an absolutely incredible groove and sticks to it. Like, a lot of the track is just this like really funky, really fucking like slap happy, like kind of riff groove kind of thing. And the song kind of like branches off from that, from time to time. Still intricate, instrumentals. Not as much as you would think with Polyphia, but definitely find the groove and definitely, hammer that shit home because it's absolutely fucking tasty. Like, whenever this song came out, I was actually in a program for my union where we were like welding for like 18 weeks straight and stuff like that. And they let us listen to music, and this shit was on fucking repeat, like, just about every day. I was in there with earbuds, so absolutely rips. And then, of course, the album came out, and everyone was actually able to listen to Nasty at that point. But, man, I mean, OD, really funky, really getting after it. They, like I said, they find a really solid riff, and they stick to it throughout the song. But, I mean, absolutely tasty jam. I fucking love OD, for sure.
Hell yeah, man. Kyle, what do you think about this one?
Man, this matchup is tough for me because somehow, some way, my personal 2 favorite songs off of this album have ended up in a head-to-head in that bracket right away. Like, these are like my 2 most listened to tracks off this album. Album's one of my favorite albums of all time, hands down. I love this album. So this one hurts, but just get objective, baby. I like the way that OD flows, and I think Brennan, the way that you talked about like the groove that it has is a really good way to like look at it. A lot of songs like this, I feel like, and like songs in this genre where it's like really intense instrumentals just kind of like coming at you really fast, really complex, your brain's just kind of like struggling to keep up at times with some songs. That's why some people don't like this kind of music. And I think this song is like the perfect composure of a song to also keep you in it. And what I mean by that is, like, in the song, it flows. It's so fucking groovy, so vibey. And it has these moments of, like, awesome full stop release, beautiful moments. Like, the big, like, boom, that goes into, like, fucking the first chorus of a song. And, like, there are moments where it full stops and does, like a big, like, and, like, it just fucking, like, it gives you a moment to, like, mentally reset a bit. And it's just so, like, smart in like the writing of a song like this to have these like crazy, awesome, flowy, it just everything weaves into each other, really overwhelming stuff at times. And then to have like these moments of just like, oh, I just like had a breath of fresh air released into me and like a little bung. And it just keeps me flowing with it. And I love that shit. It's just so smart. But overall, I think the groove of this song is so infectious, yet so chill at the same time in a way that I don't know a lot of other Polyphia songs really achieve for me. They're usually either like really intense or like really groovy, like a So Strange kind of thing. And I don't know, man. This song is just so I don't know, something about it's just that it hits that sweet spot for me. I love OD. OD.
Oh, I am a fan as well. I will say, as a drummer myself, a drummer who can never even aspire to be as good as, Polyphia's drummer, whose name I've forgotten.
His name's Clay.
I think his name's Clay. Yeah.
Oh.
I just don't remember his last name. Sorry.
Yeah. They have two guys named Clay Gober.
Clay
and
Gober's I know him.
Bassist.
But this man is an absolute legend on the kit. I mean, let's be real. This song is like the absolute perfect example of it. Like, the beats are just absolutely insane. Like Kyle said, there's a lot of like the stop and startage, and like just the way it's composed is just absolutely masterful. The whole song in general, but like drums specifically are just absolute fucking god tier. It's one of my favorite drum beats of their entire discography on this song, if I'm being honest. Also really like how they break up the chaos for a little bit with just a real stripped down, like smooth ass bridge to just kind of make the whole thing evolve into a completely different vibe for a brief time. It's just such a good song. I mean, you know, you guys have already kind of talked it to death at this point. Like, there's not much else for me to even really say, but it is an incredibly, incredibly good song. It's going to be very hard to surpass, in my opinion. But if there's one song that could do it, it would probably be its opponent, Nasty. Because like Kyle said, I think these are also my two favorite songs off this album, if I'm being honest. So I hate that we have to choose. But Brennan, I'm going to throw it back over to you. Let's break down Nasty.
Oh, fuck. This is So, once again, we have a matchup of a couple songs with a little bit different style. OD, you know, you guys, just like I did, kind of talked it, you know, really funky, has a nice pace, good groove, knows when to breathe, when to not. Nasty is more, like, it's still well composed. The intro might be a tad long, so that is kind of one knock, kind of barely against it, but it is a lot more intricate, in my opinion, a lot more, like, fanciness with the instruments going on. It does find a similar kind of groove, but they don't ride it as hard as they do for OD. Because like the funk, the groove, the pattern, like everything's so infectious from that song. Like if you got something gold, fucking ride it. With Nasty though, they get a lot more technical. They get a lot more flashy with the guitars, and then the feature with Jason Richardson, which if you don't know who Jason Richardson is, definitely go look up some of his work.
Oh yeah.
He actually released an album with Luke Holland not too long ago, and it was absolutely fire. But his part when he comes in, and you can clearly tell it's him because he has like that distinct kind of tone about him. But from there, like the technicality goes through the roof, and then it breaks down into a solo of his, and he's just shred white and blue, fucking tearing it up. Like all the notes, like all the notes possible being played on guitar at the same time. Like it is absolutely bonkers. And you know, they ride that. He fucking tears it up right until the end of the song, and then it fades into the next one. But, you know, for me, Nasty's a lot more technical, still very well composed. Might have a little bit of a long intro, but I think it goes toe-to-toe with OD. Even though they are kind of two separate songs, which is good because you don't want every song sounding exactly the same. But, man, Nasty is just such a fucking shred fest. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
So this vote's going to be very tough for me.
For sure. Kyle, on to you. What do you think about this song?
Something I really love about the album this song comes from, New Levels, New Devils, in general, is they really like dip their toes into like some trappy beats, some distortion stuff, like throughout every single track. And specifically the longer intro that you mentioned, Brennan, I really like the way that they kind of subtly add like interesting little like specifically like the higher like register like distortion stuff that kind of comes like whizzing in as they get into like where the bass finally comes in, like maybe an entire minute in or something. It really does take a while for like the heaviness to kind of come into the song. And it's just, this song is like the peak of like their like fun distortion-y stuff for me. Like they've got it just so subtly weaved into like every single part of the song, and it's so fucking tasty. That's one of my favorite things about it. And the other thing I love, like you mentioned, Brent, is the feature. I just love how it's, like you said, shred white and blue all the way fucking through. And there's so many moments where you're just like, oh yeah, here we go. It's about to fucking like hit the peak, like the big ending bit. And then it fucking like goes right into another thing with him. And I'm like, oh shit. And then it does like again. And I'm like, oh my God. And, like, it's just like, and he somehow like one-ups himself over and over again too. Like, it's just, damn, what a cool fucking track.
Hell yeah.
When I'm looking at things objectively, I definitely feel as though the technicality of this track kind of pulls me a little bit more towards it. But then again, I think possibly the whole entire package of OD and the way that they're able to like create this one flowing thing, it makes it really tough. I really don't know what way I want to go with this one, if I'm being completely honest with you.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, as I'm kind of listening to them back and forth, as we're talking about this, as I'm hearing your takes and stuff, completely agree with everything that you guys just said about this track, 100%. Even the note about the intro might be a little bit long, it probably could have been tightened up a teeny bit, but that's like the most nitpicky ass fucking thing ever. Like, I can't really hold it against the song at all. I feel like whereas OD, like for me, the drums were like really the shining moment of it. This one, in opposite fashion, this one is just like Guitar Central Station. This is all just shreds the entire song. And maybe that's why I personally am kind of leaning more toward OD, just because as a not good drummer, I appreciate good drumming, and that's just, OD gives me that in spades, and it's a very subjective thing, but I think that just mixed with the overall like composure of OD, the fact I don't even have a single minute gripe with it, while I have one extremely minute gripe with Nasty. I think that's what's pushing me toward there. So I think I'm going to throw the first vote out. I'm going to vote for OD. And I'm going to leave it up to you guys to decide who moves on and who dies.
Man. I got to give it to Nasty for sure.
Okay.
Damn.
And everything you said is totally on the ball. Nasty or OD is definitely more of like it's just it's a good package.
Oh yeah.
While like Nasty is more like, some of the song kind of, it could feel like a vessel to the epic shreddy part, but even then, like everything before that, I think still pretty lit, just in a different way. So I'm going with Nasty on this one.
Okay. Kyle, you are the tiebreaker. All of the pressure in the world is on your shoulders right now.
This hurts so much. I hate this. But oddly enough, I don't personally have the gripe with Nasty as much as you guys do. You guys both like mentioned it like pretty distinctively, and I don't really I'm not really disappointed. In fact, I applauded things that the long intro did. So I don't have that knocked against me. But something else that you said, Tyler, actually kind of pushed me in a way here that I think is going to push me to the edge. And it's that you talked about how one of them is like, the Guitar Central Station. The other one got the drums kind of like coming through a little bit more. And those are like your personal like kind of pulls either way. To me, when I look at the two songs, I think the fact that the guitars still hold such a strong pivotal piece of OD and like they're felt really upfront still, next to how upfront the fucking drums feel on that track.
Yeah.
Next to like the cool backing shit all together. The fact that all that comes together like very all together forward is like, I think objectively why I'm gonna have to go that way. Whereas with Nasty, you've got the guitars really taking the forefront that like is awesome, technically incredible, but I think I favor and give the edge to like the overall package that I think OD is bringing to the table, with everything shining in its own awesome way. So I'm gonna have to go to OD, man.
Damn. All right. Well, I'm glad that both songs got votes. I think it would have been an absolute sin if this was a shutout, because man, this was a fucking close one. But I think we've come to the right decision, obviously, because I'm also one who voted for OD. But OD is moving on to the semifinal.
I don't think there's really a wrong choice here, but
yes, there is definitely not a wrong choice here.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we did a good job of breaking these down. I think we've come to a good decision here. I think the internet won't be pissed, hopefully. But yeah, OD is going to take on GOAT in the semifinal round when we get to the semifinals. But first, we got 2 more preliminary rounds that we got to get through. And next week, we're going to be doing 40 ounce versus Goose, which is an interesting one for sure. I actually don't really know which way I'm going to be swinging on that one. So, yeah, if you want to be notified when the new episode of Battle of the Bangers comes out, please make sure you subscribe to the Talks A Lot Boys and ring the notification bell so that you get notified. Because that's what the notification bell is for, or so I'm told. Also, if you like this video, please give it a like, because that helps out just a ton. And make sure to comment below what you thought about this matchup. Which song do you prefer? There's obviously no wrong answers, because these songs are both absolute masterpieces. But, let us know. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? We would love to hear your opinions. But that's all we've got for today. We have been the Talks A Lot Boys, and we will talk a whole lot more next time. See you later.